Greetings, my dear friends. How's it going this week? Welcome to another episode of Collective Awakening Weekly. My name is Carrie, and I'm a professional psychic, shamanic healing practitioner, and guide in Sedona, Arizona. Each week, I tap into the energies that are happening and share channeled insights, personal growth empowerment practices, and sacred wisdom teachings that we can all harness to support our collective journeys in spiritual awakening, healing, and empowerment. Today, as I'm recording this, is the day of the new moon, and the new moon is happening in the sign of Scorpio, and this particular new moon is actually kicking us off into what's going to be a big cycle of transformation that's happening now through the end of the year, as we're also coming into eclipse season. The energies that are happening now are supporting deep psychospiritual growth, intense transformation, and deep healing. So we're getting a double dose of Scorpio energy this week with both the sun and the moon in the sign of Scorpio with 4 additional planets in water signs. So this means that we are all going to be feeling a little bit more in touch with the sensing, feeling, emotional aspects of ourselves, maybe a little bit more aware of what our vibrational frequency is. And these water influences do support us all in feeling a little bit more tapped in and connected with our intuition, which really is going to be our best navigation tool in moving through the energy of the next few months as we're coming into the eclipses. So in 2 weeks from now, on the full moon, we have a lunar eclipse, and then on the next new moon in December, we have a solar eclipse. So I want to back it up for a moment and remind us all that new moons are always fresh starts. It's the beginning of a new cycle. And so typically during the new moon is when you want to set new intentions for yourself. With all of the Scorpio energy happening in the midst of Scorpio season and the additional water sign influence that we have going on, the best way to set your intentions for this new moon is going to be more in the direction of things connected to your own inner growth, your psychological growth, your spiritual growth. The energies that are being activated today for the longer term cycle of the eclipse season that we're entering into now ultimately are supporting us all in experiencing a deep purging or clearing of anything that's not serving us, anything that's not aligned with us, anything that's been holding us back. In fact, with Uranus opposing the sun and the moon, we can expect some type of unexpected events happening in our life that could prove to be a little bit disruptive, but that disruptiveness does not have to be experienced in a negative way. Sometimes we need a disruption of our usual routine in life to inspire new growth, and that certainly is the energy that's happening now. Mars conjuncting the sun and the moon now really adds fuel to the fire, maximizing our drive, our determination, and our ambition while intensifying our emotions. We can utilize this and harness these energies in ways that streamline our passions in the direction of intentions that are connected to our deepest soul's calling. The energies now are continuing to support us over the next few months in purging, clearing away anything that's not aligned with what our higher nature is. This energy has been coming into the picture really off and on throughout the entire year. And as we're coming into these last 2 moon cycles of the year, with the onset of the eclipse season, everything is intensified right now. So again, the best way to focus our intentions this month is definitely going to be along the lines of that which supports our inner growth, our inner development, our inner empowerment. One of the empowerment practices that I most love to utilize in regard to my own personal growth is journaling. So with the energies that are happening this week, journaling about, truthfully assessing whatever it is that you feel out of alignment with or out of sorts with, and then ask your soul, what can I do about this? So what can I do to advocate for myself and somehow bring them into completion, harmonize them, or integrate them? Let's go ahead and take a look at the cards and see what additional insights and sacred wisdom teachings want to come through. Okay, we've got some extra intense energies happening this week, and so I am going to start, by offering us a little bit of sage here to smudge, clear, center, ground, create sacred space. Now, as we're getting into the cards today, first, let me say that I'm working with my Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. And we're going to take a look at how the energies that are happening this week with the new moon in Scorpio, which is also the beginning of the eclipse season that we're going to be in basically now through the end of this year. Let's take a look at how these energies are influencing us and the best way to work with the energies, to navigate through them consciously in ways that are supporting our journeys in spiritual awakening, healing, and empowerment. So I'm going to just simply look at, what's going on holistically, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And so let me select some cards here. And here we go. So let's look at how the energy is happening with this new moon in Scorpio, 6 celestial bodies in water signs, influencing our intuition and emotions. How is this all impacting us on the mental plane, the mental body? Adjacent possibilities, which is assigned to the number 24, which is a 6 in numerology. So 6 is the number of love, balance, harmony. And the adjacent possibilities card showing up in relation to how we're being influenced on mental levels with the energies happening this week. It gives us the opportunity to see things from fresh perspectives, to be open to new possibilities. Literally, adjacent possibilities means, possibilities that come in through seeing a new point of view, seeing a new perspective, looking in a different direction. The best way to harness the energies that are happening now mentally is to choose a fresh perspective. Ask yourself what that means to you. So, do we want to see things through the lens of our past experiences, or do we want to choose to see things through the lens of unlimited potential? Because that is the nature of our reality. We always have access to unlimited potentials and possibilities. Remember that it's what we choose to see in the world is what we magnetize to us. So when we see things from fresh perspectives and points of views, new possibilities emerge from the ethers. Next card we're going to look at. How are things affecting us emotionally? So here we have Archangel Michael, and it showed up reversed, so I'll talk about that in a moment. This deck associates the Archangel Michael energy with the first chakra, which is the root chakra. It's assigned to the number 35, which is an 8 in numerology. When 8s show up, it always reminds us to flex and flow with the energies. Be flexible. It also is an indicator that complete reversals can happen. For instance, where there's been difficulties, there can be ease now. The really cool thing about Archangel Michael is that this energy is connected to spiritual protection. It's the energy that I work with in my life, shamanically, in the realm of healing, for cutting ties, cutting cords. So showing up in the reverse position, I feel like it's inviting that energy to merge with us and to guide us forward. The red in this card, which is associated to the root chakra, is also reminding me of this Mars energy that's coming in, because Mars is the archetype of the spiritual warrior. Archangel Michael is also like the warrior angel. So it's like really being in your spiritual warriorship. So again, this Mars energy that's coming in this week is really fueling our sense of drive, determination, and ambition, which coincides with also clearing yourself, ridding yourself, liberating yourself from anything that's been holding you back. Physically speaking, how are we being influenced? The healer of the ages, assigned to 51, which is also a 6. So we have 2 6s coming up already with the 24 and the 51. And again, 6 is a very harmonizing energy. So the healer of the ages, this is like the archetype of Christ consciousness. Healing energy. With this energy showing up reversed, it feels like more than likely we're going to be becoming aware of where we're not feeling in our best vibrance. So this is a really good time. And in fact, we're going to be coming into winter pretty soon. Winter is the natural time of year that we do feel compelled to go within, which I feel is why this card is showing up reversed. It's about going within, self-care, self-nurturing, self-healing through things that have to do with physical aspects of us, like diet, nutrition, movement, really taking care of our physical bodies and our physical environments is definitely like strong empowerment practices that we can all be doing starting now. And in doing this now through the remainder of this year, this is going to enable us to feel, really in our peak tip-top shape as we're coming into 2022, ready to burst into fresh energies in the new year. And then spiritually, how are we being affected? The 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. So this energy is all about connecting with our higher self, connecting with source, connecting with cosmic consciousness, unity consciousness, high vibrational spiritual energies that support us in being really tapped in to our inspiration and our intuition. It's associated with a 41, which is a 5 in numerology. 5 is also creativity, imagination, innovation, inventiveness. And a lot of times when 5s come up in the tarot or oracle cards, they present us with a challenge. And so the challenge more than likely is going to be sorting out the identifications between what's going on in your mental processes and what your true instinctive intuitions are telling you. There's an awakening going on, awakening to our higher knowing, our higher self, our higher soul gifts. Let's do one more card, which can be like an overall message from Spirit. The Sun, illumination. This eclipse season that is being activated with today's new moon culminates with a solar eclipse on the next new moon. So the Sun card coming up now, which is assigned to the number 1 in this oracle deck, which is new beginnings, initiation, activation, is confirming with all of us that this deep psycho-spiritual time of intense transformation, growth, and healing that we're all coming into now is resulting in renewed awakening, revitalization, rebirth, renewal. So I really am sensing psychically that it's best, obviously, for all of us to take as much advantage as we can of these energies that are supporting this deep healing clearing, so that as we're transitioning into 2022, as I said earlier, we're going to be feeling energetically attuned, aligned, dialed in, energetically calibrated in our flow state, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, which is going to enable us to really be in a vibrational space that's conducive to actually magnetizing to us all that we have been striving for, all that we have been intending and reaching for. I feel really over the past 2 years, since all of this whole, meltdown's been happening in the world, 2022 is our year to get back on track with empowered manifestation of those things. Remember, we want to take care of ourselves on all levels, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually throughout this whole winter, but the energy is being really activated now, today. Thanks so much for tuning in. I so appreciate your presence here. All my love and blessings to all of you, and I will see you in the next video.